Gundam.tk presents Seravee Gundam. Hey, what's up everybody? Robert 184 2Rs 2Bs, and welcome to my review, this time of the 1/100th non-grade Seravee Gundam, GN008 from the anime 00 Gundam. And what's cool about this is, of course, the backpack can detach and turn into the Seravee Gundam. Now, the box of the Seravee is huge compared to the regular 1/100th 00 kits like 00 Caradim and Arios, but actually it's the same size as a regular large master grade box. So it's just turned on its side, which Bandai has been doing a lot lately with the G Fighter and with the 00 Riser special set. Compared to Seed and Seed Destiny, they're already at 16 in the series, and I don't think they're done yet, so it's doing very well, obviously. You can see in the corner 3,600, that's the price in yen. It's made by Bandai. Looking around the box, they're advertising that you get foil stickers there. It's 182 millimeters, so 18 centimeters. Front shot, back shots, including the Seraphim, and you can see that it opens up when it goes into full power. The weapons it comes with are the GN Bazooka 2s, the double bazooka when you put them together, the burst cannon when you put them together and split them apart, and you can attach them to the arms of the Seraphim to make the twin buster cannon. And then there's some story. So here they're just showing off the fact that the backpack can separate, unlike the HG one, and transform into the Seraphim. If you buy the high-grade 1/44th, you actually have to buy them both separately. The action gimmicks it comes with, well, the legs can be arms, so you can put some beam sabers in there. The Seraphim can actually hold the ridiculously large weapon, and of course Seraphim you can use its arms for shooting or for beam sabers. And something that they could have done better is put on a bigger picture here of the unpainted one, but it still looks pretty good unpainted. But if you look at it carefully, you can see that there should be more gray on the Seravee. The manual itself looks pretty cool on the cover with the two beam sabers coming out of the legs and backpack for the Seravee. And a quick look through the manual, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and 2 polycap sets. And then it gives you directions on how to build it. And then the directions were very clear, no problem following those, unlike some of the older Bandai manuals from the 90s. Line art that looks pretty cool, including one really great picture, I thought, of the Seravee next to the old Virtue. So I think the Seravee is a big step up on the Virtue, even though I liked it at the time. There's a picture of the Seraphim. And then after the rest of the details, there's a fold-out page in the back that just shows how you can attach everything, transform everything, and a color guide if you want to paint this. Now, this isn't a master grade. There is some paint applications that are missing that if you wanted to put on by yourself, I think it would look a fair bit better. And in the back, you basically get a lot of variations of the poses with the Seravee, which is probably not going to be that poseable, just standing there with a big gun, looking intimidating. Before you sit down to paint, it's important to know which parts you're going to paint. And in this case, I think Bandai did a pretty good job. These 4 discs here that go in the elbows, just like Caradim and Arios, they have seals that you can put behind them, but I'm going to paint them green just because I have the paint. But it's not really worth buying it because you hardly see them anyway. These parts here go in the back for the face burst mode, and I'm not going to paint those because they come with stickers. As well, anything with the eyes, if you're a real pro, sure, paint the eyes, but I am not, so I will just use the sticker for that. But what is important is right here, this is the jewels for the Seravee and the Seraphim. So those I'm going to be sure to paint properly with red. So really, to sum up, you could get away with just red, and maybe you want some green for the discs. So what I've done here is, without watering down the paint, I've just put 1 coat on the front and the back while it's still on the sprue. And then, just to keep it from pooling, I'm going to keep it moving like this. Then afterwards, if I still have brush marks or I think it's too thin, I'll put on another coat. And then I just clean my brush, and you shouldn't really do it, but I just use the same brush for all the colors. So now that I've painted everything, I think I'm happy with 3 of the 4 of my green discs. This one's a little splotchy, but I don't really care. And by the time I put one coat on the front and back of the jewels, I think that they're no problem. But again, they really do pool, so it sounds dumb, but you want to shake it around as much as possible while it's drying. So again, this really isn't something that you have to do, but if you're going to paint more than one 00 Gundam from the series, you might as well pick up the paints, I figure, for $1.50 each, slap some green, red, and blue onto them, and if you do that, I think all of the weapons look better, but especially the most important one is the red one on the heads. So again, the best part of Gundams is that you can do whatever you want with it. Put in as much or as little effort to it, and I mean, a real pro is going to laugh at the way I do this because that's pretty lazy. But it's probably better than going over it with markers. Here's a quick look at the stickers that it comes with. As I said, I painted the 2 red jewels, but you can put that on with a sticker. And then you're given the choice here between the regular eyes or the shiny holofilm kind of eyes. So of course I went with the shiny ones. And these go on the elbows of the Seravee and the Seraphim. Really quickly, I thought I'd show you the tools that you need for this in part 1. You need a pair of plastic nippers. I always recommend getting a good one. A good kind of X-Acto knife, or in this case a modeler's knife. I can't stress this enough to buy the Gundam lining markers in black and gray. In this one I used both. Buy some toothpicks and some Q-tips for your lining. And I also used a couple of Real Touch markers for the clear parts. When you cut them off, there can be some, basically the paint gets cut off where you chop it, so I just use that to touch it up. And of course, because any good Gundam should have some yellow and red on it, I use regular Gundam markers just to touch up the discolorations where you cut them off the sprue. So all total here, that's probably about $40 in tools, but if you're building any models, you'll use them over and over again. Enough with the details, let's actually take a look at what you get when everything is put together. Here's a quick look at all the parts. Check out part 2 to see all the parts and part 3 to see it all put together. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, I now have 2 mini Gundam reviews up, and you can check them all out on YouTube at www.gundam.tk.